Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, episode 37 on the Strange Exchange. With me and your pal Robbo here today. Robbo's got a quote for you, and it's amazing. It better be amazing, I should say, Rob. Let's hear it.
Quote of the day is in homage to someone who recently passed away. The quote is, "Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do." From Scott
Wow.
Hall, a.k.a. Razor Ramon.
Dang, he just died recently?
Yep.
That is a pretty damn good quote, honestly. I like that.
Yeah, he was the bad guy. That was his thing. Oh, he was a Scarface impersonator, but yeah.
He's a wrestler, right?
Yeah, yep. From back in the 1990s. He battled with many different addictions. He ended up overcoming that. And unfortunately, he passed away after suffering 3 heart attacks from
You do a lot of
some
drugs?
Yeah, he was alcohol and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things that entangled into there. Kind of what everybody was doing back in the day, though. The thing.
Holy shit,
Uh,
he was 6'7"?
yeah, he's a big dude.
Wow.
Actually, he was a bouncer in his
That's a
early
big dude,
years.
man.
I think that's what he was doing. He was a bouncer, and he ended up actually having to kill a guy because things just kind of got out of hand. So he had an interesting life. There was a documentary. I can't remember. ESPN did it. Somebody did it. It was actually a really good documentary. And I highly recommend it. I don't know if it's on Netflix or not, but I definitely recommend checking some of this stuff out. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, it's kind of cool to hear some of these stories because it's like these guys, they live some interesting lives, man. Um, and Netflix is actually, they're in the works of producing a Vince McMahon documentary, the guy who owns the WWE. That ought to be a interesting story.
Uh-oh. What kind of documentary are we talking here? They're gonna release information about him,
I don't
and
know.
he
The
was in a pedophile ring or something?
WWE's a part of it. I mean, who knows what it's going to be about? It probably is rather filtered down, but we'll see.
Vince's Park, underground layer filled with children.
But speaking of Netflix, they are
Speaking of
just
Netflix,
consistently raising their prices.
you know what really grinds my gears? Netflix. They just keep upping their
And
prices.
honestly, how often is it that other like streaming services raise their prices? I mean,
Probably not that often, I'm sure.
not that I'm aware of, at least. I guess I'm more curious as to like why they keep doing this. I feel like they're just fine. I mean, they're not really putting. I mean, do you really think their content is getting better?
No. It's
That's what I
it's
mean.
the it's the same as it's always been. It's just they add like a good handful of movies, and they always release like these new TV shows on there. And so I'm the type of person that sits and scrolls. I don't know about you. I just can't pick what to watch, what's gonna be worth my time.
Mhm.
It's probably a part of ADHD or something, but I can never just pick something and just be satisfied. Everything just looks like, oh, is this really gonna be good or is this gonna be really lame?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see they put a lot of stock into their own original programming, and I guess that's kind of cool. I understand their reasoning there, but right now for the 4 screens that you can watch on at the same time, it's 19.99 a month plus tax, of course. So that and for one
Okay.
screen it's $10. When you have like HBO Max and Hulu and like Peacock and stuff that's running at like 9.99, and you can have multiple screens. It's like what are we getting here? And if anything, Netflix started to lose content. So
Mm,
I'm just trying to figure out, is it even worth it anymore?
yeah, I don't know. I don't even like obviously, I don't have Netflix, so
Well, what
They
have
get
you
all
been?
paid.
I know. Um, like I don't know what's good to watch right now on Netflix.
I, I don't know, man. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I'm really trying to like debate whether or not I should keep this or not.
Like I said, they have good movies on there,
Yeah,
and
but don't they take a
they'll
lot of them off kind of quick?
yeah, yep, they do. Like they put them on fast and they take them off fast.
Like what the heck did they just have on there now? I know they just added like a whole collection of
That
movies.
Adam Project show looks really good though.
Adam
It's with
Project?
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah,
Ugh, I don't know. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm interested.
you got Coach Carter on there right now.
I guess
Highwaymen.
there's a few good things. I'm not saying that they don't have certain good things, but like some of their content is just not that great.
They
I
got the
don't
Shrek
know.
two first Shrek movies on there.
Okay, that's kind of cool. But
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
I did watch those.
um, but really, like even some of the shows on there, I haven't really been sold on. Like some of their originals, there's a few that I like, but it really some of them just don't like sell themselves to me. They don't look that good. Like I've
Shawshank
never got into the Stranger Things
Redemption.
stuff. I know other people have, but
That
I have not got into it.
I do. If you like '80s type of theme things, just that whole era, it is a good show. Regardless if you're into like
Yeah, but I
sci-fi
thought it
or
was more
not.
like science fiction. Like
Oh, it is. Yes, it is. But it's '80s though. Like it just gives you '80s vibes. Like and that
80s
to me,
vibes.
it's such a
Because that's
cool
when it's
vibe.
set, obviously. Yeah.
Yep, it's such a cool vibe. So yeah, if you watched not the Suicide, what's that show? The Squid Game, Squid's
Hmm.
Game, Squidward's Game. If you like Squid Game, then I think you should give that show a try because that's like the Stranger Things is another really popular show that was
Right.
at the top on Netflix when it came out.
I
And
I like the Squid Game for the concept. I'm not going to say everything was good about it though.
no, yeah, the concept was cool, but overall, like I didn't even finish Squid Game. I got bored. I just
And
kind of lost interest, but I'll
I
probably come
after a
back to it and
while I
finish
kind of
it.
had to force myself to get into it because the first episode kind of really bored, like just brought me to like, yeah, why am I watching this? It got better after that, but it was like realistically, I'm sold on the concept, and that's what I had to watch for. It was like, okay, I need to see the show out and just check it out. And it was good for what it was worth. Too many twists and turns though. That's kind of my biggest problem. But yeah, I'm always right now, the reason I'm asking about this stuff is because I'm trying to give myself a reason to keep this to keep subscribing to this because
Keep Netflix.
I'm finding myself losing interest as the days go on. There's like a very few shows on there that I actually want to watch. If it wasn't for Trailer Park Boys, I would have already got rid of it. But
Yeah,
you know,
that's a show that it's always a good one to have on there to
uh,
watch once in a while if you like Trailer Parks, that is, but Trailer Park
honestly,
Boys that is, but
it
it's
brings me back. That's the thing. It always ties me back to like, oh, I gotta watch it.
are
I have
you
to.
are you the type of person that you kind of jump from things? You know, you're not always like stuck on the same genre of shows or
Yeah, I
movies.
mean, sometimes I would say because right now I've been really into like the historical stuff. Even if it is a little more dramatized, I do like historical things like on Netflix, I was watching Deadwood, which is set in the like
Ooh,
post
that
Civil
sounds
War
good.
time. Yeah,
That,
and it's good. And it to me it was like that's cool stuff because I like westerns and whatnot, and I thought it was kind of interesting. And I just finished The Last Kingdom on Netflix, the season 5. I thought it was good. And I know they have Vikings Valhalla on there, which I want to watch. And I've been meaning to watch The Witcher as well because the video game's pretty solid. So um,
yeah, I
there's
heard the
that.
Witcher show is very good.
Yeah, I haven't been sold on like some of their content though. Like I'm not an Orange is the New Black fan. I was never a fan of like what was the other show that they had that was pretty popular? I can't remember. Like House of Cards, whatever, with
Yep,
the
another good
guy that
one.
like had sex with boys or something like that. Um, but
Oh,
like,
jeez.
wasn't that Kevin Spacey who was doing that? I swear to God,
Yeah,
it was
yep.
him.
That guy's weird.
That goof.
He's weird. Ever since he was in Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty, I just like was like, oh, this dude, he's just weird. I
Oh,
mean, that's not like the real thing that
I
did, but
did like Narcos, the show about like the Pablo Escobar stuff. That was cool. I
I've
liked
heard
that.
people talk about that one too. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one seems like it'd be good too.
it's a lot of subtitles if you can get through that. I mean that I have no problem with it,
Yep.
so it's easy. But like that, I
If it
liked.
if it's shot really well, then it's fine. If it's like one of those movies where it's like somebody has their own camera and they're all wiggly with it and stuff, and it's like a homemade thing, POV.
Oh, you're talking like found footage. Yeah,
Yep, I'm
like
like,
a
yeah,
garbage or
this,
like some really garbage, low rate, just
yeah, it's gonna be a
nonsense.
really
Yeah,
good show. It's gonna be done really well for me to like that.
I hear you there. Yeah, it's it's kind of there's a few shows that they put out that I didn't like either. I mean, there's some stuff that just is not that good. And what's that one with it was a comedy that just didn't sell itself to me because I just couldn't get behind it. Um, Fuller House was garbage. I'm gonna say that. That was horrible. Horrible
What
sequel
was
to
it
Full
called?
House. Fuller House, it was the sequel to Full
Oh,
House or whatever. That
I
was
heard a lot of
trash.
people rave about that. I never liked Full House to begin with, so I didn't really have much to, yeah, like I didn't have
I
much
I mean
to say
Full
about it.
House was like one of those shows you could watch on Nick at Night and go to bed and feel okay. Where this show was just a disaster. I watched like half of the first episodes and no, the comedy is so just terrible. It's just oh god, I can't get behind it. And it took me a
I,
little bit to get behind The Ranch too when that came out cuz I was not sold on the
Ram Ranch,
yeah, if they did a show about that,
18
I'm sure
naked
there's going to be some
cowboys.
audience out there for that, but it ain't going to be me. Um
The showers.
but like that there's some of their comedies kind of sucks. Like it just um like their woke stuff too, like that Dear White People. Yeah, you can fuck off with that.
Uh-oh. Yep.
Um or what the hell's the other one? They just had some garbage ones on there. They just were not that good. And, um, they got to do better if you want to keep me entertained. Although I know I'm not the
Well,
only
they're upping
audience
their
here.
prices. They better do better.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Add some more like classics from like movies and stuff like that. Like, okay, you guys added Seinfeld, so you're telling me that I should pay more for? I was already watching that on Hulu for a base price. I mean,
I know.
I've watched all the show. I have no reason to watch it now.
Netflix
And
is gonna keep raising its prices with confidence.
yeah, eventually it's gonna be like $30 a month. It's gonna be like paying for pay-per-views.
Yep.
Like honestly. Where
Or
if you
when
see
Netflix
like
they sent DVDs to your house, so I'm sure you can still do that. But who does
I
that?
don't think you can with Netflix anymore. I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
they do
because
that.
nobody used it. Who wants to remember
I
to send a DVD back in the
I
mail?
remember we used to do that back in the day. I remember seeing them coming into the little they used to have like this plastic little film of like a case. They're not like the red box cases where they're actually like plastic. They were like thin little like paper film.
The
It was
hell?
just the worst.
Oh
And the
yeah, the
DVDs would be
little
just
red one.
scratched and destroyed. It was just the worst. The worst.
Yeah, I've seen those before. Little tiny, little stiff
Yeah.
disc size little
There was a
envelopes.
I can't remember what it was, but there was somebody that used to do it for video games too. They'd send it in the mail 7 days later. You got to send it
Yeah,
back.
what was that called?
It was like
Service.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was like I
Games
don't know.
Games
Was
Deal?
Netflix doing it?
Video games?
Was
I don't know.
I can't remember if they were doing it or not. If they were doing that because I know GameFly. That's who it was. was
GameFly, yeah,
GameFly.
GameFly, yes.
GameFly used to do it, and I was like, well, if I have a game for 7 days, am I gonna be able to like, I have to play that game rigorously to obviously get enjoyment out of it then.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you have to speed play it too. You have to beat it in
Yeah.
time before you get charged a fee. Well, that's $5.99 for an extra couple days there.
Like,
So
"Here, yeah, we're
we're
gonna
gonna
send
send
you
it
the
back.
new Call of Duty. You're gonna play multiplayer for 7 days, and then all of a sudden your
Yeah.
friends are gonna wonder where you went."
What happened, bro?
"What
All right,
happened, man? Where is
well, I had to
it?"
send my game back to GameFly, else I would have been charged
Yeah,
$10,
that's what I
$10
mean,
fee.
like, and Netflix
Yeah,
was
that
doing it
was
for movies.
yeah, that whole process, I'm glad that's over, that whole
Yeah,
way of doing that, because
that was the
yeah, them
early version. Similar like Amazon, because they were only, like, books for the most part at the start.
yep, when they first started. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing people, like, get packages on their steps way back in the day when I was
Mhm.
younger, and you could see, like, "Oh, what is that? What's Amazon?" Like, I never really thought much about it. I'm just like, "What there's some
Yeah. Maybe
random ass
Netflix should go
shipping."
back to sending movies in the mail.
Yeah.
At least we'll get some new movies instead of the B films that they throw on there, those horror films with actors that you'll never see ever again. You know? It's like, can we stop now? Can we stop putting this garbage out? Like, for Christ's sake. It's just it's too much. It's way too much.
Yep.
And they're selling
Yeah,
me on
that
these
is
garbage shows.
so it's like a lot of services and subscriptions are getting a lot better about, like, especially Xbox. Xbox, by the way, is doing really good with what they're changing and stuff. I will give them props right now. Obviously not perfect, but and consoles get a lot of hate compared to, like, playing games on the
Mhm.
computer, PC
Oh,
games.
100%, yeah.
Because Xbox does, obviously, Game Pass, which I know that you have.
Yep.
And if you don't use it after like 3 months or something, it times out and it doesn't charge you anymore if you haven't used it. So that to me just shows like they're really thinking about their customers and stuff. So I got to give props to Xbox and like Microsoft for doing that. That's a huge thing. Because
Yeah.
like other companies, they'll keep letting you just they'll like let you keep getting charged, man. Like they have no problem with that. Oh yeah, keep
Mhm.
it coming, man. You got this straw right in your sippy cup. Keep sucking
And
out
the
the nutrients like a
the,
mosquito.
um, the thing with Game Pass too that I actually just noticed this. If they take a game off of their, program, you can no longer play that on your Xbox. I didn't know that, and I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." It's kinda like a streaming service, you get it for a certain amount of time.
Yep.
That's only fair, I understand that. Um, because I forget what game I was trying to play the other day, and it was just like, it wasn't working, and I was like, "Okay, alright, no, I understand." So I like their concept, and I think if Netflix did that, I probably would have my Netflix canceled already then because I stopped
Yeah.
using it for a while.
I think
But no,
I think
they want
too.
that
Yeah.
money. They want that money.
They
They'll
certain
take that.
Netflix is definitely a mosquito on your arm, on your
Oh,
shoulder that you didn't like realize was there, and it's just like
yeah. Well, see, and
just
that's the
sucking
thing,
all
it's
the
like,
nutrients out of you.
I'll look at my bank account, and all of a sudden I see, like, because most of my services come out at the end of the month, like, that's when my bills go out for that.
Yep.
So I recognize that, and this time around, I noticed, I was like, "Netflix went up?" It was just, like, $17. Now it's another $4 I gotta spend for this? Like, what the hell? And they don't even let me know about it either.